Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. So we got 20 in already. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do have a special guest coming on this live stream today. Very honored to have this gentleman here on my channel. We're going to get to know him a little bit. His name is Fragrance Knowledge. But I did want to go through, obviously, again, the rules to start everything in. Now we got people trickling in now. What's up, James? What's up, Rizzle? So the stream rules, real quick, real fast. Respect the streamer and the guest, right? For myself and for, of course, our guest coming on. Any rude comments towards himself or any live guest will get the boot. Our moderators, we are going to moderate and just respect each other in the chat. If it goes out of hand, our moderators will know how to time out all parties. And there's one of our moderators there. What's going on? The man Cologne is in the house. Questions, we may have a little bit of a Q&A with Evan. We'll see how much time we have available for that. And I may pluck them from the chat. Respect each other. No racism, homophobia, or sexism in the chat. Dushan is in the house as well. I see him. So we got a couple moderators coming in and enjoy, have some fun. And of course, as usual, the views and the opinions expressed by our guests tonight are solely their own, and they don't necessarily reflect the views or opinions of myself or my channel. But here we are. We have Evan from Fragrance Knowledge. How's it going, brother?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
There we go. Good. So happy to have you on board on
Thank you for having me.
Channel here on YouTube. I know you're primarily a TikToker, doing very well over there.
Thank you.
When was the last time I looked? I think you had over 1 million followers, eh?
Yeah, we just hit 1.1 million, but
it's a pretty big number.
Keep trying to grow.
Impressive, yeah.
Thank you.
So Evan, for people that don't know who you are, there might be a bunch here in this chat. Don't mind me. I'm just opening up a drink here. Let us know who you are, how you got into this. Maybe like a little bit of an intro of who Evan is.
Yeah. So I actually have like I would say a broad background. I started reviewing when I was 10, and I reviewed any flavored drink you could think of: flavored tea, energy drinks, flavored water. And then after I pretty much tried every drink in America, I was like, what else can I do? Then I got into fragrances when I was 18. So this is my 5th year doing that. And here we are today, talking about cologne for 5 years now.
Damn.
And it's great. I've always been a reviewer. I always liked reviewing.
So where were you reviewing, if you don't mind me asking, the drinks?
For energy drinks, it was mainly Twitter, and then I didn't make an Instagram until I got a phone, and I didn't get a phone until I was 17.
Okay.
So nice. I was just posting off like a $40 Amazon tablet on Twitter about energy drinks.
Oh, damn. Wow.
To like 10 people.
That's crazy.
But,
that's how it started. Literally.
That's so how it started.
What got you into fragrances, though?
So I guess my grandpa gifted me a bottle of Stetson, like the OG original batch of Stetson cologne.
Love it.
And this is actually probably a good story. I think it's quite good. I used the entire bottle because, of course, there was like this much left of a 50 ml. And then I bought a new one, and I was like, dang, this doesn't smell like anywhere near what the OG smelled like. So I looked up why, and then it got reformulated. So I clicked on another video, and it was Jeremy Fragrance talking about the 10 best teenager fragrances. And I'm like, this guy's 35. I'm 18. I got to get in right now. So I just thought it was a good time to get in. That's how I started cologne, basically.
Interesting. Set of the night. Do you have one, or are you wearing
anything? Set of the night. Ooh, what did I put on? I think I put on, pretty sure I doused. Nope, here we go. I did douse myself in Off-Non today.
Off-Non.
Off-Non Supremacy, not only intense.
I know nothing about that. I'm not a clone guy.
Yeah, all good. The original, the morning scent to the gym was this one right here, which I probably don't think you know, but
no,
it was an old cologne brand. This one's Otis Slytherin. They made stuff based on Harry Potter, and then basically got sued, so they're no longer around. But it smells great.
Oh, that's rare.
Yeah, Yeah.
That's worth something now.
Well, I have two bottles, but I think it smells. I think it smells fantastic. So I like wearing this in the gym every once in a while.
Nice. And
Yes,
is that
sir.
your whole collection behind you, or is that just a
So
what you?
this is one of them. So this one goes all the way to the back, and then this one goes basically to the back. This one's just front, and then these go all the way. But it's like I just go on my floor and I can just like pick up a handful of fragrances. Like it's pretty bad.
Is that how the videos start? You just pick up stuff off the floor.
I mean, literally, pretty much. Like I'll be like, "Oh, I haven't unboxed this yet," and then let's just unbox it. Yeah.
So, what's your favorite fragrance house then?
Favorite fragrance house? I would still probably have to go with Xerjoff because
Okay.
Alexandria 2 is personally my favorite of all time from Xerjoff. And then I would say 40 knots. Those are like my two favorite from Xerjoff.
Okay. How many do you own from Zerjoff?
Let's see. I have 40 knots, Alexandria 2, Trino 21, Trino 23, Naxos, and then they're shipping me a bottle of Trino 24. So I guess
Okay.
that, and then More Than Words. Xerjoff More Than Words, like that one too.
One Words is pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty
Have you
dang
ever
good.
smelled Richwood from that brand?
Richwood? No, I have not. I just ordered a La Capitale as well because everyone's been telling me to try it.
Damn. Richwood is a great sandalwood based fragrance.
Okay, then I would
Highly,
definitely probably enjoy it.
highly recommended from yours truly.
Alrighty, I'll
Um,
check it out.
what is your all time favorite fragrance?
So this one gets a lot of hate, but I think it is the best fragrance I've ever smelled. I don't think I know it is. It's Greenlee. Greenlee
Oh
is my
God.
number one. It just
Oh no.
what, you don't like it? See, it reminds me. My girlfriend doesn't like that much either, but hey, I think it's great. It reminds me of literally camp. I was at camp with my family, and it reminds me of fishing on the dock. You know when you
Yeah.
would fish and you think you had a fish, but you just got moss or algae from the bottom of the pond.
Yep.
That's the vibe I get from this, like wet, mossy algae, but in a great way. It's just memories in a bottle.
God damn. Actually, I was looking at your TikTok. I think it was today when I was prepping this,
Hmm.
and I saw, and I might be wrong. You can correct me. You probably know your channel a lot more than I do, but I saw that you broke a bottle of Greenlee, and
Yep.
that's your most viewed video.
On TikTok, that is my most viewed video. Yep.
That's
I think it's
that's
at 8.1 million,
it was at.
maybe.
I wrote it down. 8.7.
8 points. Wow. Yeah,
Like
and
it
that
just
was not staged. Of course, there was only like this much left in the bottle, but it was not staged.
it just
It was
blows my
legit.
mind
It,
that
it was insane.
that not that
I
you
almost
need
didn't
it.
post it.
Not that you need it, but I am going to shout you out here. I'm going to put
Well,
your
thank you,
link
thank you.
to your TikTok here on my
Appreciate it.
chat here. Um, and definitely go check out Evan.
Thank you, thank you.
Evan and I had a conversation on TikTok a while ago.
Mhm.
Um, and, for, I don't know if you want to state your age, how old you are.
So
If
I'm
not,
22. I'll be
22.
23 in
Okay.
like 18 days, 19 days, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, well, congrats.
Thank you, thank you.
And but yeah, you had a very mature response, which
Well,
I
thank you.
really really appreciate. And then you being, on TikTok, it's
Hmm.
definitely I'm the old age
What,
kind
like
of.
30, 30, 35?
You're gracious. I'm close to 40.
Oh,
Um,
that's good. That's good. I would say 35. Yeah.
well, that's nice of you. But we had a discussion just because I'm from a different world, we'll say.
Yeah.
That things like and free bottles and things like that. I'm not,
Hmm.
I'm more of a, we'll say, what kind of, like a purist, I guess.
Yeah.
A hobbyist maybe. Um and for yourself, it might, probably already has with 1.1 million followers. I would assume it's more of a business now. It's more of a nine to
In a way.
five, we'll say.
Hmm.
um and I wanted to kind of ask you in regards to that.
Hmm.
Um, Now that this is kind of like your full-time job, quote unquote,
Hmm.
do
Hmm.
you see this as something that yourself or someone can do long term, or as a primary income? Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And that just depends on how much income you want to make. If you want to make a lot, then I would say definitely have something more revenues of income other than just TikTok, because TikTok's very spotty. Like one month you can have a great month off TikTok Shop, and then the next month you can have almost zero sales. But it is,
Okay.
I don't want to say stable, but or it's stable but not consistent. Like you can make it stable, but if you don't do TikTok Shop, then it's iffy. It's iffy if
So
it's
it's
stable.
so it's a little stressful, right? Because
Oh, definitely.
if social media is your
Definitely.
number one income,
Mhm.
you're basically putting more pressure on yourself to do the
100%.
content that basically gets the hits. So
Yep.
it's more of a job, even though you're looking at it as a
Yeah.
job, but you have to hit those deadlines to at least make that minimum that you're looking for. So
Yeah.
your your main source of income, at least on TikTok, you're saying is more TikTok shop, right? You're
Yeah.
the big
So my
Go
main
ahead.
source of income is TikTok Shop, like 10x everything else. Because last month, I'll be straight up, I think I got paid 1.5K for all my views.
Okay.
But even I'm getting more views now than I was 2 years ago. But 2 years ago, you would get paid double that for views. So it's just
Oh,
more creators now. Everyone's sharing the prize pool. So the view to payment ratio kind of went down. But it's still not bad because TikTok, they launched TikTok Shop, so it's like a way to even out or overtake everything else.
right. Interesting. Now,
Hmm.
are you branching out more? Like I do know that you have a YouTube channel and you have an
Hmm.
Instagram.
Yes.
Um, not as I guess not posting as much.
Well,
Are you looking into that for more income in regards to that, or
for sure, I think YouTube is definitely more stable, and I'm trying to get it down to where I can like talk about a few fragrances and make it like a 10-15 minute video. But I don't know if I just am too quick or what, but yeah, I definitely stick to the 90-second content and then
the short
upload it to
form?
YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah, I can't do the short form,
See,
but
and I can't do the long form.
there you go.
I'm trying.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure you'll get it.
Hopefully.
Um,
Hopefully.
we got a question here. Oh, I guess
Mhm.
it's for me, unless you smelt these fragrances, but between PM, which I believe is Fragrance du Bois. Have you smelt that one? PM?
I have not smelled. I've smelled London Funk.
Okay. So you haven't
That's
smelled too
it.
many of those Fragrance
No,
du
I
Bois.
have not. Mm-mm.
And they're asking about Promise by Frederick Malle. Have you smelt that one?
Nope.
Oh.
I have not.
Which one is better in performance? They're both beasts. So I'll put my stamp of approval on both of them. I can't go either way with those ones. They're both pretty big. Smelly, thanks for the super chat. Nice to have another live center of the day. I'm wearing Beach Hut Man at the gym because
Nice.
okay. I'm
I
actually
do like
testing
that on
out.
watch.
I'm testing out. This is a sample.
Mhm.
Chanel's Comet. So from their
Don't know that one.
exclusive line. Um, it's beautiful. So I'm looking forward to doing a video on that one. Now I wanted to kind of ask you,
Mhm.
what was I going to talk about? We did talk about, and I don't know if you want to go in. I don't think you want to go into detail, but there is, someone with, as many followers as you have.
Mhm.
Obviously, a lot of brands are going to reach out to you.
Yeah.
And I know we had a discussion in regards to between me and you that some
Mhm.
brands kind of blacklisted you.
Yeah.
Um,
Bottom
are,
line.
are you able to kind of talk about that? Like, not talk about the brands themselves. You don't have to
Mhm.
talk about them, but kind of like how to balance it because I don't do that. I'm a no
Right.
guy. I
Mhm.
don't need this is a hobby for me, but
Mhm.
it's nice to look at a other side of the coin and
Right.
go, okay, like someone reaches out and says, this is what we do. Like, is there any way, like, for yourself that you go, this doesn't feel right? They're telling you a script or they're sending you cash for certain things to say, or
Mhm.
you shoot a video, they don't like it, they stop sending you stuff. That's the kind of stuff. Like, I kind of want to pick your brain in regards to how do you balance that and
Mhm.
how often does that happen to you or, your experience.
I mean, shoot, brands reach out. Brands reach out every single day. So it's like, do I get a lot of free products? Yes, absolutely. I mean, I probably get, right now, I haven't had a package in like a week, But normally I get like 20, 30 packages a week, and it's just all different fragrance brands, and it's loaded
It's
up,
a slow
especially
week.
the Dubai brands. I'm sorry?
It's a slow week this week.
Yeah, it's very slow. I actually was checking outside the door a few minutes ago. I was like, "Where are my packages? Where are the
You're
packages
so
at?"
lonely.
But yeah, no, I honestly I like the break because I'm in a small room, and I don't have a lot of. I still live with my parents, so I don't have a
Right.
lot of room. So I don't mind not getting some new fragrances. It's just for content. I'm like, dang, when am I gonna unbox it? I don't really have anything new. Um, but regards for scripts, I don't really do any scripted work outside of like L'Oreal. They kind of don't make us make a script, but basically we give them like a little
Blurb.
synopsis. Yeah, like a little bit, and then you say approved, and then we record a video. They approve it. So that's like ads with L'Oreal or Dolce Gabbana, like scripted work. Other than that, it's just me going ham, just unboxing fragrances, sometimes tagging the TikTok shop, sometimes not. But yeah, definitely we get a lot of PR.
Yeah.
Brands do will blacklist you if you don't like glaze their stuff for some reason. I don't get it. But yeah. Any questions you have on that, I'd love to answer it.
Yeah, like well, I've had that in the past too. That
Mm.
they was the last one that was really bad for me was S Boy there. I don't know. I'm
S
sure
boy. Oh,
you got S
Draco.
Boy. There's no
Mm.
way because everybody got S Boy.
Yeah, I got the S boy for him, S boy for her.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're at
So
now, but I got them.
yeah, well that brand's exiting the fragrance industry now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, because he got into legal trouble, so it's kind of like we can't sell this
Oh,
product anymore. Uh,
oh,
yeah. So unfortunately, some people on YouTube were making a lot of bank off that because it was for me personally, they were offering me $35 a bottle.
yeah. I
Um,
think it was the same, or maybe
oh,
55 or something.
so you
Yeah,
got the exact same email that I got. I was
yeah,
like, nope.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, no, thanks. I don't need that. But no, that's interesting. Now, as far as TikTok goes, I want to ask you something personally.
Yep.
Do hashtags work on TikTok?
So yes, I've heard they work. I've heard they don't work. So what I do is I just have my own hashtag fragrance knowledge. Now, if you hashtag 10 things, it's not necessarily going to get you more views, but I've seen videos blow up without hashtags. I've had videos blow up without hashtags. I've had videos blow up with hashtags. TikTok is just all watch time. Just like me breaking that greenly, for some reason everyone watched it.
Yeah,
And then for a video I put an hour into editing and an hour into recording, it'll barely reach 10, 20,
they'll
thirty
do
k.
nothing.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
like the story of my whole channel.
Yeah. So
A lot
like
of
my
hard work.
blooper went crazy, and I'm like, bro, I mean, it's funny. I love to see it, but come on.
So Denise had a question. I don't know if
Mhm.
you can help her out, but she said, "Can young folks actually afford fragrances?" Well, I guess uh, a better question would be how to kind of get your feet wet as a teenager, young 20 something, because obviously, when you're first starting, the freebies ain't coming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did you kind of navigate that?
So when I started, I was 18. I did have a job, was working security at that time, and I umpired baseball on the side. I did that since I was 14. So I've always kind of had a job or money coming in. But when I first started, my rule was I would not purchase anything over 50 bucks. So I was a cheapie page. And actually some brands didn't want to work with me for like the first 1 to 2 years because I only showed cheapies. If it
Right.
wasn't cheap, I wasn't talking about it. I was 18 to 20 during that time. And at that time, my community was genuinely young. Like they were 15, they were 14, like they were freshmen, they were seniors. We were all around the same age. Yo, into the fragrance stuff, bro. So yeah, I for the first like 2 years, I was cheapy only. That was my thing.
Really?
The cheapy
Yeah,
guy.
I saw some of your like I went to oldest and just wanted to
Wow.
see where you
Oh no, those were
yeah,
bad.
there was no face. You didn't do the
No,
face.
no, and actually I can tell you that whole story too.
Go ahead.
Like, so in a way, I would say I was 18. I was a little bit insecure, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to show my face because what if people make fun of me?" And then the first time I showed my face was nothing but positivity. I was like, "Oh, it's all in my head." And
You're
then
like,
I've
okay.
kind of made videos speaking on that now. I'm like, I wish I knew this when I was 14. Like, no one cares if you're in the gym and you think you're doing it wrong. Like, no one cares. No one's gonna come up to you and make fun of you. You know, they might correct your form, but they're not gonna make fun of you. And if they do, that's their problem. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
majority of insecurities are just in our head.
Well, it's just like starting out in this fragrance game. There's so many people that reach out to me and go,
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing this, but
Yeah.
I never did.
Just do
And
it.
here's the reason why. And it would be like,
Hmm.
I don't want to show my face.
Yeah.
All I own is these popular fragrances that everybody
Hmm.
else has talked about. And I'm like, yeah, but people tune in for you.
You. Yeah.
Um, I don't like when I go on base notes, or when I first started, I was going on base
Hmm.
notes like Fragrantica. What was I looking at? Well, I was looking at like 20 reviews on the same fragrance. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that, oh, this one person is like the top dog and that's
Yep.
who I'm just going to follow. That's not how it actually worked. I like the
Right.
variety. Um, and that's the one thing I kind of don't like about the social media realm right now with the free bottles. That's one of my little gripes, is that
Mhm.
everybody gets a free bottle. Let's
Yeah.
say like brand Latafa sends
Mhm.
out 50 bottles to influencers.
Yep.
Social media gets flooded with 50 reviews.
Hmm.
They're all the same. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
the one thing that I have kind of like a gripe on, is that they're all launched the same. It's the same faces with the same bottles with the same things that say compliment. They last long, and
Hmm.
it's there's no discovery,
Right.
right? There's no
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna check out this different brand from someone else.
Hmm.
um which is kind of like one thing. And how would you do you navigate a little bit that you have your own taste in regards to
Oh,
purchasing,
absolutely.
or is it all just these promos?
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely, since TikTok Shop has launched, I've been doing way more promos. Not every TikTok Shop video is a promo, but yeah, sometimes with new launches, like I'm sure you saw all the Rayhan stuff. That was like I did one paid ad for them in the beginning, and then the rest was just organic me tagging the shop. But in regards of Latafa, yeah, I mean most of it's authentic or organic. I haven't heard of Latafa paying anyone, but they do all send us the products pretty much within 1 to 2 days of each other. So we get it, we unbox the new thing because
Yeah,
it gets views, it gets the hype.
yeah. They've made I just did a live, was it last week, and I looked at the
Mhm.
stats of Latafa made, what was it, almost $4 million in a month on TikTok Shop alone.
Yep, yep,
In a month. That
yep.
was
And I can tell
February.
you, before TikTok Shop, I didn't even know who Latafa was. In 2023, I had no idea who Latafa was.
They're big zero.
Yeah.
The I think the problem, well, the problem
Mm.
for me personally, as far as these clones go, is that the designer brands,
Yeah.
um, they used to be in this under $100 realm. They used to
Yeah.
be. They no longer are. So
Mm-mm.
there's this huge gap now of $100 or
Yep.
less. Like, yes, you can go to TJ Maxx, but you're gonna
Hmm.
find the same brands like the Dolce Gabbanas, the real $20 things, Calvin Kleins, and so you're gonna
Hmm.
see the same brands, but there's a big gap from like the Dior's and the
Yeah.
Chanel's and all that. Um, and do you watch any reviewers, or you're just more content oriented?
So I stay in my own realm and then I support my friends, but I also don't want to like watch someone else's opinion and then have it change mine. I'll always make sure I record my review before watching someone else's review. But
Okay.
I definitely support my friends. Like if we're cool, I'll support you, but I don't like actively seek to watch creators
Yeah.
outside of my group. But yeah, back in the day when I first started, all the time. All the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Carlos, watched a lot of Ross videos, TTLT, Stay Fresh Productions, of course, Gent Sense, like Jeremy. Yeah, back in the day,
Oh,
absolutely.
so you were on YouTube then, you were watching
Oh yeah,
so
I was a
Tony
lurker.
Vargas.
I was a lurker, but I wasn't uploading on YouTube. Yeah.
Right. Huh. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, do you I didn't see any, but maybe you can correct me. Do you do like actual like a full review on a fragrance, or is it just more real quick snaps of like lists and
Yeah.
unboxings and stuff like that?
So I have done like full on reviews, but definitely it's more like it takes me 30 to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour to record every video. I'll record the initial, 15, 30 seconds on the scan. I'll let it sit 5, 10, 15 minutes. I'll come back. I'll come back an hour later. And if it changes like drastically, then I'll
Yep.
update. Hey, I'm in the gym 4 hours later. This smells way different. But yeah, normally it's quick reviews. And then over on YouTube, yeah, sometimes I'll take one bottle and like break it down. But
Yep.
usually it's more of like is this fragrance worth it or not within like 90 seconds?
Wow.
which I
How
know
many?
isn't considered a review. It's more in between content and review.
Yeah, it is what it
Mm,
is.
yeah.
How many videos do you post in a day?
1 to 4 videos every single day. Never missed a day since I started.
Really, one to
Yeah.
four.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you like calculate them on the TikTok? Like does it have to have like like on YouTube? It's almost
Mhm.
like a faux pas. Like you can't because it just if you post something in the
The
morning, let's
presses.
say that's your
Mhm.
hot time, you don't want anything overlapping it because it's just gonna muddle down that last
Yeah.
video you just posted. But on TikTok, it's different, right?
Oh
You
yeah.
can post like 10 in a row and it
Yeah.
won't, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Literally. Literally.
and I guess it would be a good way to kind of see if you can get views, I guess, that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely get yourself out there. But usually I post 1 to 2 times a day.
Okay.
But if I post a TikTok Shop video, I
Yeah.
try to make sure I'm posting, one before the TikTok Shop video, one after, just to try to keep it even more organic, but still keep the money flowing because it is my full-time job now. But
Yeah.
yeah, usually I would say on average it's probably 2 videos. But if I post a TikTok Shop, then I definitely try to pump out extra organic content for sure.
So what's hot these days for the kids? What's the fragrances that are behind you there that are hot right
So
now? That get the likes
anything anything JPG, bro. Anything JPG.
really
Now, me personally, I'm a old school. Like, in a way, I still think blue jeans is better than most cheapies ever. Like, blue jeans is
look
fire.
look
And
at
then
you.
Versace the Dreamer. Oh, dude, I love that stuff. It's so good. But if I
Look at
tell
you.
anyone that's my age that likes it, nah, bro, they think my nose is horrible. But I would say what's hot is, of course, Versace. Jean Paul Gaultier is massive, and then a lot of people are, for some reason, a lot of people around our age group is getting into Louis Vuitton. They want imagination, they want Pacific Chill, which is crazy because I could never see myself spending that much when I was like 18 or 16, whatever.
No.
But I mean, heck, even Creed Aventus, people are asking me if I should blind buy Creed Aventus at 14. I'm like, bro, what?
There's a lot of
Uh,
people in this world that have a lot of money, but
yeah,
don't spend it wisely, I guess.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Louis
I mean, hey,
Vuitton is that's all I see in TikTok. Like whenever I'm
yeah,
on the app, I'm just
yeah,
like, holy, why is everybody buying Louis
Louis
Vuitton?
Vuittons.
What
Yeah,
is
it's a
going
lot of
on?
hype right now.
That's
Yeah, I don't
crazy.
know. It seems to be, I would say right now, the most popular brand in my age bracket would probably be Louis Vuitton. I think they took over JPG, but JPG was massive like last year. I'm sure you saw that. That was insane.
Yeah, they kind of no, at least on my realm, they kind of flopped this year. They had those two releases, the
They
new
flopped.
Le Beau,
I
the
did not
new
like flowers that much.
yeah, Flowers flopped, and the
And Le
Elixir
Mans Elixir
Absolute
Absolute. Yeah.
also
I still
flopped.
like it, but yeah, it's still a flop, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because they're known for their sweet fragrances. Like, I think they do very good vanilla lavenders. And I don't know why they're trying to like stir away from that. But Ultramall is my all-time favorite. That one's the best.
Ultramall. It's funny because Ultramall went off the market for a bit, and then they
Yeah, it
brought
did.
it back.
Yeah,
It
yep.
was it almost had like a resurgence that they're just like the sales are pretty high on this, so we're
Yeah,
gonna bring that thing back.
I guess so.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
Um, I have a question here. Stronger with You Sandalwood. Have you smelt that one?
I have. It is very nice.
Yeah, it's a very good. Actually, it's one
Very
of the better
nice.
ones.
Yeah.
Untouchable was asking, "What are your thoughts now?" Oh, is for me since my review.
Mhm.
They haven't changed. Again, I'm really just I'm pumping out content.
Mhm.
So even like Evan could probably say here that like your current collection with what I got back here, this stuff almost is like collecting dust because I'm
All the new.
constantly
Hmm.
um unwrapping something new or wearing a sample of testing out something. So it's almost like your collection is there for reference only, basically.
Hmm. No, I
There
feel
you
that.
go.
I feel that. A lot of people will ask me, they're like, how is it your favorite if it's not almost empty? It's like, well, on this arm, I'm testing a new fragrance. On this arm, I'm testing a new fragrance. This pinky has a new fragrance. So
Yeah.
it's like constantly testing. But I love it. I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, like you see a lot of that on YouTube that they say like unless they're saying like I've tested this thoroughly and the
Hmm.
thing's like full, then yes, you can get a call out. But If you're
Yeah.
not stating that, you're saying, "Hey, it's one of my favorites." It could
Right.
be, it could be a secondary bottle. It could be a backup
Right.
for all we know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So right, I Le Male, like I'm old, so Le Male was my high
Classic.
school fragrance,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I've went through like probably a dozen of those.
Yeah.
So right, that used to be back in the '90s. That thing was hot. Um, but yeah, so the clone stuff, I want to talk like Arm Off and all that.
Yeah.
Now, is that something that a lot of the kids are going into now? In your, like, I know you're talking about designer and
Mhm.
niche there
Mhm.
with the PDMs and the Jean Paul Gaultiers, but obviously we're seeing a lot of traction with the clones, especially on YouTube. It was kind of like
Yeah.
slow on YouTube actually.
Mhm.
It took some time to get into here, but now they're getting a lot more traction. What are your thoughts on these brands kind of taking that sub $100 genre, I guess, and kind of piggybacking on top sellers? Basically, that's all they're doing.
Mhm. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that kind of stuff?
So it's like I see both sides because on one side people are like they're kind of copying someone's work, and on the other side it's like they're making it more affordable for everyone. So but I also have seen both instances where the perfumer that makes the original also makes the clone like in Dubai, like they will fly them out to Dubai and they'll perfume the clone. um I don't have a problem with it. Now I don't think that they should be cloning indie brands if there's like a nice independent brand or anything like that. If they're not making billions of dollars as a company, I think it's kind of messed up. But it just depends. Like if someone started cloning, I don't know, a very nice Chris Collins or something, I'd be like, whoa,
Yeah. So
like what's
so
going on
you're
here?
thinking like there's a little bit of
There's
like
definitely a line
there's
for
a
sure.
line somewhere where if you're a small independent company that
Yeah.
finally hit it big with one fragrance,
Yeah.
you feel that maybe that person deserves that and they shouldn't be getting cloned for $30 a bottle
Yeah. I
and
don't think they
getting
should be getting. Now, if they had their 25 years of success, then hey, sure, go ahead, drop your clone.
like a Louis Vuitton or like a
Yeah.
Chanel or something like that.
Yeah. Like, so for Chanel, if you even talk about a clone of Chanel, they'll literally try to shut your page down.
Oh
They'll
yeah, yeah.
they'll send the whole entire team after you. It's crazy. But
Yeah,
yeah.
on Facebook we got that our
Yeah, I
group
saw that on the marketplace, wasn't it?
dude,
Yeah.
Chanel and Louis Vuitton both
Yeah.
went after certain Facebook groups
Crazy.
and then my mods were like going crazy on our Facebook page. What are we supposed to do? We have to look at every single post and
Yeah.
delete old posts. And I'm just like, oh my God, what are we doing?
It's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so you do have a decant site, and
Uh-huh.
I guess that's attached to your TikTok and all that. And
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
yeah, okay. And that's doing well for you, eh?
Yeah,
You're
it's working out. I'm not hitting my full-time salary yet, but yeah, last year I did pretty good. I made like 60% of my full-time salary,
oh,
like what I
okay.
was making back at corporate world.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely more fun to be my own boss and
Oh,
not work 12-hour night shifts anymore. So,
100%.
but
And
yeah, we're still growing that decant business for sure.
that's crazy. And for your videos, how long
Mhm.
does that usually take you, like from start to finish?
Usually it's like 30 to 60 minutes. Like I don't really spend that long on it unless it has like a crazy drastic change, but I'll usually record like 2 to 3 videos a day and it takes me 30 minutes to an hour each one. So then I can still like reference it later on and then
Right.
I'll test it throughout the day. I'll ask my girlfriend what she thinks, my mom. Luckily, I live with what, 5 other people in this house, so I can get tons of opinions just right
That
off the bat.
helps.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely does.
Getting that feedback is
Mhm.
it does get annoying to the other members. I don't know if you've gotten that yet.
They're
Just
nice.
like
They're nice.
so, some days you have to avoid them sometimes,
Yeah.
or a fragrance is too strong.
Yes.
Um, Especially with my taste, I have animalic scents and stuff like that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
some people don't enjoy
No.
those too much.
Well, like zoologist rhinoceros.
Oh, T-Rex, man,
I cannot stand T-Rex, but
dude, that's
not
like one of my
rhinoceros is good.
favorites.
Rhinoceros is good. And King Cobra was it? King Cobra and Squid. Squid was so good.
I haven't smelt that one. I have
Dude,
the
it's
whole
so
sample
nice.
set. I need to crack that open,
I do
actually.
too. It's so unique.
And
I
yeah,
would say my favorite from them is probably what, Seahorse or
yeah.
Panda. Those are fire.
Oh yeah, that's a great brand,
Great house. Great
and the
house.
owner is like
Great
amazing,
guy. Yeah, he's a fun
and
guy. Really nice.
he just unfortunately he got robbed. I don't know if you heard about that.
Dang. No. Like his
Oh
store
yeah,
or
somebody
his
went into his
warehouse?
store. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
somebody went to his store and he was there, like it was just a one-on-one customer, and the
Yep.
customer asked him about one fragrance.
Hmm.
So he started spraying on a strip. The
Yeah.
guy had a hoodie on,
Yeah.
and he just started grabbing the tester bottles right in front of him. Like all
No.
like he grabbed like a dozen.
No way. That's so messed up. I
It was
thought people in
crazy.
Canada were supposed to be nicer though.
Yeah, I know, and
What's
I'm just like times are hard, bro.
Yo,
Um,
that's messed up. I wonder how the
and
insurance claim works for that.
but he had it on camera too, so he posted it
Right.
on his Facebook, and
Right.
you saw the owner after he got the guy
Is
left.
he just like baffled?
No, he went after him with his phone.
Oh, oh yeah, I
I
would
was like,
too, to be
no.
honest.
I was like, no, Victor, don't do that.
Well, I mean, it is Canada, so I guess they don't really have pew pews, but some of them might. The people, well, you have to say the allowed terms.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But well, that's not hilarious, but that's hilarious. The pew
Right,
pew.
right, right.
Um, but
No,
yeah,
I hope he definitely his insurance covers that or something. I'm not sure how that works on a business
yeah,
standpoint.
yeah, yeah. Especially since he has like video footage of it as
Footage.
well, it kind
Yeah.
of helps everything. Um, so one question about the equipment that you use for your videos, is it
Hmm.
just a straight up phone and you
Yeah.
go at it, or yeah, and then you edit it on your phone, or you go on a
Yep.
computer, or
Edited on my phone. Yep.
everything? Wow.
Everything. So every TikToker that I know of, besides like Cal and Aromatics that have like nice setups, we all record on either an iPhone 15 Pro Max or an iPhone 16 Pro Max. And then we all use the DJI or the Rode mic. I'm Team Rode. And
Yep.
then we all edit on CapCut. And then we just record on CapCut as well. And
CapCut, eh?
that's so you can get into this. My lighting, I bought this lighting off eBay 4 years ago for $60 and it's still on. And I have probably put, I don't know, thousands of hours on these things. Every
That's
live stream, like
and then
I don't know how they're
then you
still
look at
working.
my setup in the look
Oh,
at all
dude,
this,
my
I got
shelf.
lighting.
This was built into my house. So one of
It's
these
built
doors
in.
did break, but this was built in. It came with the room.
It's
So
like a kitchen cupboard.
yeah, literally. But it's a bad design because you can't open the
The
door
door.
if these are open. Yeah, bad design. But
Oh,
hey, it was a shelf that came with the room. No extra money, no startup cost needed.
free 99.
Literally.
So what's the plan or the future of your channel? Like
Mhm.
what's the vision? Is it staying on TikTok and that's the driver, or you're going to branch out, or is it the Decant site, you want to blow that up a little bit more?
Mm.
What's you're 20 something, you're early
Yep,
20s,
22, 22. Yep.
and the future's bright. And
Yeah, I
what
would
are you
say.
looking at as far as this whole fragrance thing?
So I'm hoping it stays lucrative as long as possible. But I'm always gonna have multiple sources of income. Like I'm not just gonna keep all my eggs in TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Heck no. I'm
Yeah,
not I'm not trying to do that. I know I still live with my parents and I have that security blanket and everything, but I still like to, provide and everything. So I would continue. I'm going to continue scaling my social medias, continue scaling my decant business. But as for the future, I'm just going to keep doing everything I'm doing now. My resume is still put together if I ever have to get another full-time job.
dust it
But
off.
yeah, for now, I'm really liking the traveling and everything, exploring the world, um, which the brands do cover that. They do. And it's honestly a blessing to just think of it. Literally 14 months ago, I was still working 12 hours every single day. And then after leaving my job, I got to go here, I got to go to Dubai, I got to go to Mexico. It's absolutely insane. It is insane. The new media genre right now, the new trend is flying people out. I don't know why, but even L'Oreal's
Yeah,
doing it now. They're taking us
yeah.
to LA next month.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I was seeing like on yachts and boats in Miami, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, what's going on?
So that was a legit like brand paid advertisement. Like we
Yeah,
got paid to go out there and everything. Now, me personally, I don't really like showcasing that because I don't want it to come off like I'm bragging or anything. But that's what the video they wanted, and they're literally paying a bag sometimes. So it's like you say no, you're pretty
you're
silly.
done.
You're pretty
Yeah.
silly. And then you don't get another, contract for a long time if you get another one. So
Well, exactly.
if
That's
the
where I'm in. I said
right.
no, and then
Yeah. So it's
this
like it
guy's
wasn't too
worthless.
bad, but I just don't want to have a persona like I'm trying to brag or try to come off like I'm better than anyone because that's not my persona at all.
That's good. Yeah. No, I kind of noticed that with our interaction where
Mm,
someone else, even at your age, would do something else in regards to what our interaction was. So
for
you're
sure, for
very
sure.
mature
Thank you,
for
thank you.
your age, which is
Thank
nice
you.
to see. Do you have your own brand yet?
No, I do not. I do feel like if I want to have that security blanket to like retire in the future, you
Yeah.
definitely have to launch your own brand for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. But no, I don't want to launch my own brand too early or launch it with the wrong company or have the wrong investment. So I'm definitely looking into having a product, but right now I just want to make sure I can get a good product before releasing it. I don't want to just release a fragrance, you
Good
know?
man.
I
That's
want to
good.
actually make sure it's good, it's with a good company, and then yeah.
Yeah. That's
Gotta make sure
awesome.
everything aligns.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds good.
And then it's
I
not
know
gonna be
you.
$250. It's not gonna be that expensive. I want it to be a good cost. I want it to be fair.
When I got approached the two times I got approached, it was $300 for the fragrances. But don't worry, Mark.
Navitous.
We'll give your your people like a 10% code or 20% code, and
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah, right.
the
Right.
games, right?
Yeah, no, I would make it affordable for everyone to where everyone that's working for me can, make their salary, I can make my profit, and then everyone can enjoy a good smelling fragrance at a good price. And then hey, we might have some other cool products. I would like to launch like I would say 5 products revolving scent, like not just cologne. So I would definitely like to launch something here.
Yeah, because you were reviewing stuff like also like soaps and stuff.
Yeah, so I've done everything. I've done fashion in a way. Like I've done some modeling in the background. I've done some suits, shoes. I've done a lot.
Some
Some
suits.
bars. Yeah, I've done some suits. Yeah,
Damn, look at
yeah. I
you.
like to every single time I travel to like Italy or whatever. I'll always
Yeah,
get 2 new suits from the suit company I know, and then do a little thing for them. Like I was actually on the news for that for their suits.
really.
hmm It
I
was kind of
missed so
crazy.
much.
Nah, it's all good. I can send you the article if you want to check it out. I think I have it. I think I have it somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. You ready? All right,
You
my
gotta get
girlfriend's ready
going.
to go. If you have any last questions.
No, it's all good, man. I
Alrighty, bro.
really appreciate your time,
Yes, sir. Thank you for having
and
me.
tell your girlfriend thank you.
Yeah, he says thank you. Thank you very much,
All
bro.
right, Evan. Have a good
Yes,
one.
sir. You too. Thank you, guys.
Bye
Peace.
bye. And that was Evan. Fragrance knowledge. I'm going to stay on for a bit. Not for too long. We'll do another 15 minutes or so. I haven't gone through the chat a bit, so it'd be nice to kind of go through a whole bunch of stuff with you guys. I know you guys sent a bunch of stuff, so I don't know if they were for Evan or for myself, but let's see, 917. So that was about half. I don't even know if these people are still here, but a good coconut fragrance, unisex or for men. Coconuts, Coco Bello from Healy's pretty good. That's top of my head. I'm trying to think of a good coconut fragrance. That was the first one that popped up actually. Smelly. I went with 6 sprays at the gym, of course. Uh, don't you do splits, Mark? It's more than a hobby when you mix business. No, I don't do splits. Personally, I don't do splits. I used to have people that I just told them exactly which bottle I would want, and they were splitters. So I would just say I want 60%, 70% of that bottle, and then I'd be patient until they split it. So that's how it worked. As far as business goes, no, I do have, you see a bunch of decant stuff over here on the side here. I do decants. I don't sell them on my channel at all for a website. I get paid for decanting. I do not get paid for any videos. They have approved that I do videos, and they don't care what goes on the videos. I can use them and use a couple sprays. So no, I don't mix business into the equation personally on my side of things. Power move at the gym to establish Dawn. Just passing through, smelt strong for you. Sephora, beautiful scent, 3 sprays. I bought vintage Chanel number 5. There's a classic right there. Christine says from Manouge, knows from my friend. Leo is wearing a great scent, T for 2, a forgotten scent in Fragcom. Let's see if I can go through. You guys are all going. Julie, how's it going? I'm doing well. Doing really well tonight. Hard to believe that Mark was once that guy that hyped 1 million. Yeah, times have changed. I've grown up. I was in my 20s. Like I was just as old as that kid right there that was on my channel. Just discovering things, right? 1 million and Le Mans and Pure Malt and Issey Miyake Summer 2009. La Nuit de l'Homme came out. These were all gems, and some most still get into the rotation. So things haven't changed that much. Like things like La Nuit and Pure Malt are still some of the top fragrances, designer fragrances that I wear. I ain't a fossil yet. I definitely go for quality over quantity these days. Yeah. Definitely, once you start establishing that you have a lot, you start noticing that, buying 100 Calvin Klein fragrances might not be the best idea. It's hard when everybody has the same tastes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Some are decent. Free market keeps the creep. Yeah, it was. I'm gracious that Evan even reply. Like a guy that has 1.1 million followers on TikTok does not need to speak to me or go on my channel at all. So it was nice for him to take some time and spend some time with us and kind of get to know him a little bit. And he's really grounded young guy. Yeah, he does things that are completely opposite of mine, but I have an open mind of things like that, and see what the people are about, and get to know them a little bit. I'm trying to get through these, so it's kind of closer to the time right now. Let's just go down here. What's my opinion on Aqua Celestia Forte? I have not smelt it. I have a sample somewhere in here of an MFK Aqua that I bought. I don't know if I can find. I probably can't find it in here. It's too much stuff around. I get so many compliments on 4 sprays. Laba's asking, I want a good fig scent for the summer. It's thinking deep. One of the best. Aqua de Parma's got a fig that's pretty good. But there's almost every brand has a fig-based fragrance now. We got a super chat that I totally missed here at 9:45. So we're getting closer to 9:50. Good. Glad to finally catch a live mark. A fairly new follower, but wanted to show love. Thank you so much. No need for super chats here, but really appreciate that you would take the time and actually hit that button and give me your hard-earned money for what I do. I don't take it lightly, so thank you so much for that. Yeah, he was a good kid. Right? He's open. That's the great thing. It's not trying to hide it. Was very transparent, saying, "Look, these guys do, put us on a plane for free, and it would be stupid of me saying no when I get a free trip to Miami. I get a free trip here, free trip there. Yeah, it's complete opposite of what I stand for. Definitely. But that's, at least he's very transparent about it. And he's got a good head on his shoulders, I think. When you were approached to do your own fragrance, did they make you the real creative director, or you just be endorsing something that was already prepared in production? They make you they pitch it as you are the creative director. That's the pitch. But once you get deeper into the thing, is they got like, I don't know how much you guys know about the perfume game, but like a lot of these noses have hundreds of thousands of briefs that were just said no to, and just minor tweaks here and there. Those can be sold for profit. So what happens is some of these brands already have, like, there was something that was passed around, like a coffee thing that was passed around the Navitas game, basically, to multiple fragrance reviewers, being sold as like, what do you want? You want a gourmand? You want a coffee caramel thing? We have it. But it's the same one. So it's not like I'm speaking and working with the perfumier. It's already pre-mixed. So yeah. Andrew, do I have a favorite note? It's at this point of the journey, there's always like the point of discovery, right? You start discovering ambers, you start discovering tobaccos, and you start discovering, ouds and all that. It's not even about the favorite note anymore. I got multiple. Like I can't really pinpoint one. Obviously I like darker stuff, but at the same time, I like something well blended. So that's more important to me. The way the perfumier um, puts things together. So a grapefruit, we've all smelt a grapefruit in a fragrance, and that's a prime example. And it doesn't have to cost $1 million. Like Pampelune from Guerlain is like under $100, and it's one of the best grapefruits that I've ever smelt in my life. I've smelt a lot of them, so it doesn't need to be super expensive. However, it's always the penmanship of the secondary notes and how they make it build it into a story. So favorite notes, yeah, you could go off a list of tobacco, incense, leather-based fragrances, animalic fragrances, civet, castoreum. The list goes on and on. But it's more about now, like if I start looking at like a fragrance like this, it's not all about, just the one note. It's nice to see, but the story is what's important to me now. So there's always that initial thing that you smell a fragrance, like I'm smelling Chanel's Comet right now, right? Comet, for an upcoming samples. I'm actually wearing it today for its first day of testing. And my first reaction, which is not on camera, unfortunately, on sampling samples, there's no camera. But the first reaction I had, like I write notes in regards to testing. That's how I test fragrances. A lot of you may already know that. So every time I wear a fragrance, there's building blocks to have the final fragrance review, quote unquote. So when I first put this on skin, boom, boom, dabbed it, I smelt it. I'm like, this is so Chanel. White florals, powderiness, a class comes to head. So all these things are already like my first sniff. I'm like, iris, heliotrope, okay, building blocks, aldehydes from Chanel. Then the Rolodex started. Okay, the classic aldehydes from Chanel. So now aldehydes Chanel. I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, well, are they toning it down or up in this fragrance? Well, they're toned down. Okay, so I put that in the review right now. So that's how I kind of build it. But when I build a fragrance review, those are things that are important to me. Is that there's a lot of things actually that are important to me other than just a favorite note. Is that how well is it done? The identity of the brand, like Comet is such a Chanel fragrance. However, like 10 minutes into that fragrance, I noticed they have cherry blossom as a note, which is a fantasy note, by the way. Cherry blossoms don't smell like anything. But I smelled a literal cherry in this fragrance, and heliotrope does throw out an almond feeling. So I was like, huh, tonka bean, maybe, no, but it made me think of Guerlain. And I was like, huh, Chanel taking a page of Guerlain a little bit. Obviously, Guerlain utilizes the tonka bean for their cherry almond hue. But it was just kind of weird how the Rolodex kind of works that way. A real churchy incense. You got to go with Comme des Garçons Avignon. There's like 10 dozen real churchy incenses, but every time somebody asks me that question, like this is just the cheapest, and I mean price wise, the easiest one to get, and actually the best bang for your buck for a churchy incense. It really is breathtaking. One of the best from Comme des Garçons. Really, really great. Have I tried 1740 by Histoire de Parfum? No, but I blind bought a bottle, which is up there somewhere. So I just need to unbox it, basically. Yeah, it's nice to do a live stream once in a while. Like I've been doing a lot more actually lately. Usually this creative time right now, like 10 p.m. right now, local, is more structured for the channel. So I'd be editing right now, boring snooze fest, or building a fragrance review or shooting a fragrance review. After the workday, that's where this whole channel works. So it does take away from the channel. I'm not posting as much, but the live streams are nice. I kind of get to chat with you guys, get to know some people. I'm reaching out to a lot more people in the community, and kind of having some fun with it a little bit. Moustache. What age group is Moustache aimed at? I don't really see it being restricted. It's not a grandpa smell. It's not a teeny bopper scent, I guess. But I could see like a more mature, teenager wearing that. Excuse me. So I wouldn't see any restrictions on it. Anybody can really wear it. Question about performance. I find it a ripoff to pay top dollar for a few hours of smelling my fragrance. Performance for me is I'm the complete opposite of you. Which again, we're not, I'm not right and you're wrong, or either way. I think there's a place for low performing fragrances and high perform. And I totally understand where people say, look, I need at least 5 hours. Like I want to smell this thing. I'm spending $500 on it, 400, whatever, right? That's your money. Right? It's your money. For me, I see beauty in the fragrance itself. So performance is very low in regards to importance for me. Like, yes, would I like to have a bare minimum? Of course. And bare minimum, I'm thinking like probably like 3 hours is a bare minimum for me. If it leaves the skin after 3 hours, so be it. But it's very low on the totem pole in regards to, am I going to purchase this or not? Like you can have the most beautiful fragrance and it lasts 3 hours. Am I going to say no to it just because of low performing? No, because for most events or most things that you're going to do in life and wearing a perfume, depending on you, unless it's a work day, even a work day is going to be what, 8 to 12 hours, we'll say at the worst. Some people work way more than that in a work day, whatever. First of all, you can reapply. But events and things like that, they last 3-5 hours, 8 hours at most. So why do I need 12 plus hours? I rather have something that I absolutely love, than something that is disgusting and lasts 12 hours. So for me, I see value in the set, even though it may not perform well. Like I got some Calvin Kleins. I know as cheap as those are, I rather wear some of those that only lasts a couple hours than maybe something that lasts 12 hours. Because now after 2, 3 hours, I can wear something else. I might be in the mood for something else. So I see, I see the good in all. Yeah. Oh, Virgin Island water. Like do sounds like, yeah. Yep. My favorite fig is Premier Figuier. Oh, l'extrait, not just Premier Figuier, the extrait. Premier Figuier was the first fig in the game. Great one too. What do I think about MFK re-releasing old stuff? I'm all for it. All for. I haven't smelt some of the re-releases, but I am all for it. Some of the older stuff that was great that they're re-releasing. Yeah, Olivia is the fig queen. She would be on the short list if I ever had a brand. She would be on the short list of noses that I would use for green scents for a spring one, 100%. How do you feel about Dolce Gabbana re-release? That's a blip on the radar. That's what that is. That's all that is. It's a blip. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah. Navitus equals the Latafa for people with a little money. Call them the lower upper middle. uh, they're not that much as far as price. They are maybe. Have I tried an Apogee Maison Violet? I have not. What's up, Graham? You're usually streaming at this time. What's going on, man? I've been wanting to revisit. Yeah. Both my bottles of Tabaron and Woods Botscal haven't had much dent into it. Every time I reach out for Creed, I'm always thinking fresh, and I'm always kind of like, even Spice and Wood is kind of in that category right now in my collection. Right now, the past like 10 years, they get worn like once in a while. And I'm just like, oh, that's so nice, and then I don't read like the Millissime Perias, the Virgin Island Waters, the Green Irish Tweeds, Green Valley, Selection Velt. All the freshies are getting, their own little, even original vetivers getting, some rotation with me. And I tend to forget to actually go into the Creed section of my collection and wear their fall-based fragrances, kind of like, Royal Oud. It's the same thing. Yeah. Just passing through. It's 10 o'clock. What is my longest lasting fragrance? I'm drawing a blank. What lasts a long time? There's two fragrances that come to mind just because they're very much beast mode and they're leather-based fragrances. And they are the two best leather-based fragrances of all time, the animalic leathers at least. The one is Dial's Leather Oud. I bought it in New York, 2011. That bottle is nuclear, almost headache-inducing, depending on how much you wear. It is a beast. And the other leather-based fragrance is Mona Ziorio's Cuir. Rest in peace to Mona. That is her masterpiece. And I don't say masterpiece too often on my channel. I will say about that one. That is one of the best leather animalics that I've smelt in my whole lifetime. And I've had that bottle for a very long time. So it's a great one. Fraglat, I agree on the performance mark. I bang that saying. Yeah. But it's easy. I guess it's easy for me to say because I got all this whole collection where I can choose whatever I want. Like I can have something that'll be like a leather oud, which will last and last and last. And then I have the comfort of wearing something that's going to last only 2 hours. So yeah, it makes sense. Is that a Habs shirt? Yep. Didn't get dressed up for this one. Hello from LA. Oh, hey, we got Finally got caught up with the questions here. Scent of the Night is J'adore by Dior. How do I feel about, you know what? I haven't smelt Dior 2020. I only have vintage. I just never did. Edition Blanche. Oh, what a great allure. Possibly one of the best ones. Tired and got to work tomorrow, so I'll be up in less than 6 hours. Grim, you got to go to bed, bro. Set of the Night. There. Everybody's talking about it. Is that the same gentleman? It is the same gentleman. Yeah, I haven't smelt it, unfortunately. I kind of want to smell it because I'm a huge Dior guy. Torino 21, really minty or more citrus? It's really minty. She's minty. Best value fragrances that inspire the feeling of motivation or energy or relaxation, class, refinement. Jeez. Jeez. You really loaded that one up. Best value. You know, I used to be like a value guy. Like a lot of my designer fragrances that are in my collection, especially the older ones, I used to buy tons of fragrances that were in the $30 to $60 range in the designer game. Unfortunately, all discontinued, all worth a lot more, like things like Gucci Put On 1 and 2, right? I got those for like $30 each. Those things are worth like 3 something, even more now. But there's like, that's just two examples of some crazy things that, you know, like now value. I can't even think of any designer brand that's like value anymore. Like Calvin Klein, I guess, bargain bin, but it's all clones now. The designer game has changed quite a bit. So no, unfortunately. Longest lasting for you? Oh yeah, follow. Megamar. I have a sample of that. I need to smell that one. I got tons of samples that I gotta go through, like tons of great stuff too, that people talk about, and I just never got the chance to smell. My thoughts on Louis Vuitton Imagination. I haven't smelled it. I have a sample, just haven't smelled it yet. Just slowly getting into the Louis Vuittons. I know the sample of my next Louis Vuitton is Sun Song. That's the sample. It's like right on my desk. It's right there. But I do have a sample of Imagination. I got like 10 samples of Louis Vuitton. So we'll see what they're all about. You know, Evan was saying earlier that that's the big hype on. No, I believe it. Geez, TikTok is crazy. I have not. I have a sample of their iris somewhere in here, somewhere. Unfair question. Well, we'll see if it's fair or not. But if you had to choose a signature all year round scent, what would it be? Year round, eh? It's a good question. You'd have to go with something that's super versatile. You know what? Like something like, you almost feel like going designer, but you know, like I feel like almost like a green Irish tweed would be probably best, where you can wear it year round. Millésime Impérial. You know, you almost want to go darker, but signature year round. Yeah, I think GIT would probably be the first thing that I'm thinking about. I think it'd be the best one. Again, once I start looking back here and looking at my whole collection, there's probably like a gazillion ones that I could be thinking about. Paul Smith story. Geez, it's been a while since somebody spoke about Paul Smith. That was a great one. I have a bottle somewhere of that thing. Again, $20. $20 for Pulse in a story, right? That was a cheapie back then. Yeah, my probably change my banner here. There you go. That'll make more sense. Oh, yeah, there you go. We'll do that one. Actually, that was an old banner, Christine. So I'm not drinking anything crazy today. Nothing. However, go check out my Discord. I'll put it in the comments. Anybody wants to check out the Discord, please do. We are, I don't know, let's go check. We were about 110. We are at 118 currently. We got 18 people online, 100 offline. Oh God. But the Discord is great. I let the people know in the Discord. If you don't want to know, then probably don't join. But I will. I show people what I'm sampling on. So they kind of know the videos that are coming through on the channel because they know I'm like, hey, 4 days earlier, I'm sampling this, I'm sampling that. I'm doing. I'm telling them. I'm actually letting them know on the Discord what I'm going to be unboxing. Right, the unboxing videos come out every so often. We also, not just me, but we talk about our scent of the day, new purchases. I post new releases on there as well, and people comment on those. We got fragrance memes on there. We got niche discussion, designer, indie, fragrance news, and recommendations for YouTubers, Instagram, TikTok, self-promotion, some hobbies, things like that. So it's a great little place for us to, it's kind of like a Facebook group, but like a tight-knit group of people. And we just talk fragrances. It's nice to have like a little Discord. So it's nice to see. What's what's a Discord? Christine, it's like a I don't know. I don't know if you have Facebook, but it's kind of like a Facebook group, like a fragrance Facebook group, kind of. But it has like, you know, threads. So like if you're looking for like scent of the day, there's like you click on scent of the day and it's going to show you everybody's scent of the day and stuff. So it's kind of like a neat tool. Like you got like hundreds of people that will just post and stuff. And then there's like a little section for me. Obviously, it's my Discord. So you can see like if you're interested in sampling samples, like I have a little portion on it that you can actually write down and say, hey, Mark, I'd like you to buy this sample or try out this sample. Or you can click on it and it'll show you what I'm working on. Like those people already know what's coming up on my channel. They already know I'm sampling. I was sampling last week, Valentino Uomo, one of them. And they already know that's coming through the channel because they're part of the Discord. So they kind of see what's I'm working on and how much time it actually takes for me to actually first sniffing a fragrance and when a video comes out. So it's fun. It's free. So there's no cost to it. Obviously, you have to sign up to Discord. But if you click that little link that I put in, you join it and maybe you'll be on it, maybe not. But it's fun. I like kind of sharing stuff and kind of talking to people that actually watch my stuff, and I actually get ideas and stuff like that. So it's really nice. I guess value is subjective. If something blows your cost hundreds, it'd still be great value for money. Yeah, that's where I kind of am at. Like with, I still blind buy a lot, but it's almost calculated because I know the brands, I know the perfumiers, I know, the strength of the perfumiers and the brands as far as notes wise go. So like me blind buying something that is super expensive, like I'm trying to find something that I'm going to be unboxing that's super expensive. I don't really know. I don't really have anything here. This is Tom Ford's and stuff. But yeah, value is definitely subjective. And that's why I always talk about like your purse strings or your wallet. I don't hold those. One person will value longevity and projection a lot more than me. Another person will value, they may not value a super authentic grapefruit because maybe that's not what they're in it for. They might just say this like when people smell like fragrances like Vibrato. I smell Vibrato from Sospiro And I'm like, I've smelled so much. I'm just like, this is a designer fragrance. And I mean that it smells like something under $100. It doesn't speak to me. That is, that value is not there anymore for me. Like if the scent profile smells cheap to me and you're asking $200, that's a no-go. I don't care how well it performs. I don't care about compliment factors. I'm not going to enjoy it. Why would I wear, like, it's like me wearing a sundress outside and somebody compliments me on my cute little sundress. It brings out your beard, Mark. Oh, so I'm going to wear sundresses every day. I feel super weird wearing it, and there's no, again, I'm not some, if a guy wants to wear a sundress, go ahead. I'm just putting that as an example. But if I feel uncomfortable, like just because somebody complimented me on my sundress, I'm going to start wearing sundresses every day. Why? Um, do you only test fragrances for your channel, or do you? I found the rest of it, Nicole. Some of your personal time. It goes kind of hand in hand, which is a great thing. So the sampling, as far as what I buy, there's a little bit of a mix of both, I guess, more on the channel now. So I'm buying almost every 2025 release. So that's more channel related, like something like, what am I going to be sampling? Yeah, I'm going to be sampling this thing right here. Coach for Men EDP 2025 release. That's for the channel. However, any testing is good testing, personally. So what that does is beefs up my Rolodex on Coach. As poor as my Rolodex is on Coach, I don't know too many Coach fragrances, but now if anybody asks me about Coach, I'll know because I've added that. There's some value there. I'm going to do the research to see who the nose is behind it. If I know the nose or I don't know the nose, it's value added. So there's value to everything, but there's fragrances kind of like, we could use Comet as an example from Chanel. If I didn't have a channel, like what would I be sampling? These are things that I would be sampling on my own time. So it kind of goes hand in hand. But everything that's in here, this is the bulk of my samples are in this big cupboard right here. There's thousands of them in there. And obviously I do get a lot from the purchasing. So I get like free samples, whatever. But there's also lots that I've paid for. Those are, the ones I enjoy, right? There's a calculated sampling. Like I'm looking at a box of samples right in front of me because these are the next ones up. And there's a lot in here that I'm intrigued, but there's value to all the sampling. So yeah, the testing has been obviously a little more half and half, I guess, channel wise, but there's value to it. Wearing Kenzo King Kong tomorrow. King Kong. Okay. Have I tried Gris Chardonnay by BDK? I have not. BDK came out with what's the one I own? I blind bought their cherry one. What was that called? Oh, I forget. Oh, Rouge Smoking. I don't know. I've heard great things about this. I actually do have. Funny enough, I have one in here, a BDK. Gris Charnel. EXT. Extra, I guess. That's an extra one. So I have a sample of it, of the extra version. I think there's two. So the extra version is going to have a samples at some point. Name off your top 10 all time from your large collection. That's a video idea. That is something that I can't do on top of my head. Honestly, the honest answer is that if I ever did a video like that, it would be more story related. I've always said, like, if I have to sell a bunch of my collection, a lot of the ones that are tied to me, no matter the cost, even the more expensive stuff would go. The ones that have an actual story behind them would be the ones that keep, like, even the mall. As much as I have, a lot of bottles that are $300, $400, $500 or more in my collection, those would go because they don't speak to me. So it'd be more of a internal top 10 all time, just because of how much they mean to me. And things like CKB, I wore it when I was a kid. I'll have a bottle of that in my collection until I'm gone. It's just smelling it. It just brings back memories. I have not tried it. Oh man, many people have asked for that fragrance. I have it in one of my buckets for a sample on a website. I think it's Surrendered a Chance that I have it in my bucket. And I'm trying to go through like 30 samples this month so I can clean out some samples and then order some more because that's what I do. Kenny's thanks, man. Yeah, I've been on for about an hour. Would I accept free bottles with the understanding that you continue to be honest with your reviews and opinions? It's yeah. I have my my issue is not the free bottles per se; it's everything that's attached to it. However, the audience can perceive it in multiple ways. Once you've taken a free bottle and done a review, you're no good anymore. Now, that's not the case at all times. It's not the case in a lot of times, but a lot of the big brands, it depends on the person, right? The reviewer. And, if you can't, let's say you can't afford amouages and amouage contacts you, okay? That skews you right away, right? Someone like me, do I need another bottle? Nope. Am I hurting for content? No. I could, just on my desk alone right now, I probably have enough content on my desk alone right now in samples. I probably have enough for just this part of my desk, I'm saying. I probably have enough for the year. I'm not hurting for content. So, there's a lot of things that come into play in regards to that because some people are more open, clone houses. I have zero, I have no interest. I have enough bottles here. I don't need free bottles of clone brands because it's just going to clutter up the space. I'm not interested in it. I don't care if I lose audience. And then that's the whole thing about YouTube is that if you're looking to build your channel, you better do clone houses. It's just the nature of the beast, right? You kind of have to. So yeah, would I at this point I've said no so many times that it doesn't really like I'm okay, right? I don't need it. Well, there you go. That could happen, right? Everybody thinks that I'm gonna love this fragrance because I'm such a bish hater. I don't know. Florida, what's going on? Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a hobby. I'm just, I've always been in it, ever since I started. Nothing's changed. And a lot of the things, that I do, this affords me to not do the things that others do. Right? I can, you know, I can get a new camera. I can go 4K. I can buy the latest fragrances. I don't need to sell my soul in regards to it. So, not too many people can do that. So, I feel blessed in that regard that, there's a lot of people that were counterparts of mine that were reviewing in 2010 ish, 11, 14, 15, and had to stop because of multiple reasons. Job loss, you know, didn't want to put in more money into their collection. It's big enough as is. Felt the need to get more subscribers or an amount of subscribers every so often. I'm not getting discouraged. Like me, when I pop off a video, I did it for fun. Um, I love, delving into a Chanel like this comment for my own personal use. And I'm just throwing out things to you guys to help out other people. That's how it started in 2009 and hasn't moved since 2025. It's the same thing. Do I sit there and look at and I go, this better hit 10,000, views, and I better get, 500 subscribers every month? No. If I was that case, like, people think that I'm stupid, that I can't do this YouTube thing. I know what makes views. It's, people say, oh, he's boring or whatnot. He doesn't know, old man should quit. No, I know exactly what to do. Shorten my videos, talk about new releases, do top 10s all the time, more editing, spend more time on the editing floor. It's not hard. Do shorts. Those are things that will get you the views, will get you the subscribers, right? I talk about new releases and I do new release videos. I should be doing a new release video and a shortened version on shorts. That's how it works. But yeah, I appreciate that. What up? Oh, yeah. What didn't I like about it? Oh, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Smells like a robot. Have I tried Robert Piguet's oud? I have not. Best tea-based fragrance that you can buy. Tea for Two comes immediately to mind, but it's not readily available. Tea for Two by Lots of Stuff from by far the best tea-based fragrance of all time. Bulgari's got a ton of tea-based fragrances that are actually very solid. I'm trying to think. The brain's off today on Tuesday. I'm always looking for good tea-based fragrances as well. I was thinking about what did I have a sample of a fragrance right here because I saw this on the sample site. This one's called Chai, and it's by a brand called Baruti, Baruti. Okay, and the juice color is awesome. Let's do a little sniff. Let's see if it's any good. It's a niche house. I don't know how much it is per bottle, but I saw really good reviews on it. I think it was Surrender to Chance that I got this. Jeez, this top doesn't want to come off. Let's do a little. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is good. That's going to get a good review. Chai by Baruti. It is on the desk. Very, not that it's close to being reviewed. I got some on my hand here. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, Christine, exactly. Bulgari's got a whole tea line that is awesome. Black, top 5. Your thoughts on Lafayette Street from Bond? I haven't smelt it. I've been slacking on my Bond number 9s. Do I see Ziara? Hey, Janet's here. What's going on, Janet? Do you see Ziara discontinuing older fragrances that Ziara had? I hate that because you're asking me and you're probably going to take me seriously. Well, looking at the branded Ziad right now, if I was in your shoes, I would. I am seriously contemplating getting a backup bottle of Fahrenheit EOG. I'm a little worried about the brand of Dior, and I don't blame Francis at all. I think he's just a hired gun. I just think he's there for a paycheck. However, I think what's happening at the brand of Dior is there's people possibly above Francis that are kind of basically looking at the brand right now and saying, we need you to step up sale wise. Now, LVMH, like I just did a live about a week ago. LVMH is in Q1 of 2025 is losing to Hermes as far as money wise that they brought in. Hermes is kicking their butt. LVMH owns like several companies, and Hermes buy little old Hermes because they don't have as much people and brands and money put into these brands to keep them alive and afloat. It costs a lot to make, to own several brands. So unfortunately, I feel from all the brands that LVMH owns in the perfume game, Dior is one of their prestige ones, the one that they are banking on making more money with. And I think they're underachieving. And Francis was brought in to make it more, dare I say, mass appealing. So, we saw what what happened with DHP. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not, like I have my review on DHP. I feel like the artistry of Dior currently, right now, what they've been doing, I'm a little scared of some of their staples, um, revamping them. A lot of brands have been doing this in the designer game, right? They're bringing in new bottles of their eau de toilettes and their older releases to kind of sell them to the public. Like Armani is doing this in the men's game, right? They're doing, Acqua di Gio getting a new bottle. Armani Code got a new bottle. Doesn't necessarily mean reformulation, but I'd be cautious. It's not like Ziotic and Dolce Vita are super expensive. So I would say it's better to be cautious than to regret, especially if it's some of your favorites. That's probably the best way of doing it. Hope. Well, man, you're one of the only ones that like Hope. Like, man, I was, this whole YouTube click, and that's the whole. I was kind of like, am I the only one in the clique that doesn't like Hope? Like, that does like Hope? Sorry. Everybody else hates it. Like, everybody's parroting each other. And I'm just like, am I in a clique of influencers? Like, since when do we feel the same? Like, sure, it'll happen that something's a flop. A flop's a flop. I do not see Hope as a flop. It's not missing the mark. Like, it smells like a Desert Gems fragrance. Absolutely. The only thing that everybody was repeating to me was, "Oh, it's Promise. It's the worst version of Promise." Okay. Okay. Like that's you're allowed your opinion, but I'm just like, this is a solid. Like, look at it as a standalone as a fragrance reviewer, right? Yeah, if you compare it to $400 Promise versus $1,000 Hope or $1,000 Moon or whatever the night, whatever. Um, yeah, Promise is your best bang for your buck in that collection. Absolutely, nobody's denying that. Um, but it still has that uphill magic. I don't know. I liked it. That's all that matters, right? Man in Black is leathery. Question mark. One reason I love BDK, they don't reformulate for profit. That means so much to me. Anyone, it seems like you have to buy a fragrance as soon as it comes out because they reformulate almost right away. Well, Jason, good point, I guess. Now, brands have to reformulate for several different reasons. Right? Allergens is like the biggest one, right? You got IFRA up your butt. They are. What was the last I heard? Hear that? I heard. Was it lavender? One of the major materials that makes lavender It's going to get banned in 2027 or 2028. They're looking into it. That's a major shakeup in the fragrance industry if that does happen. I have to go back. Like I just learned about that. Oh, was it 2 days ago? I wasn't gonna make a video about it, but it's like those kind of things that you're in the perfume game and you're just like, huh. Obviously they're gonna give brands, time to reformulate and change fragrances, but at the same time, right? It's kind of like I don't think. And again, I'm playing devil's advocate here. A lot of the brands reformulate because they have to, not because they're nickel and diming. Um, I don't, I don't see a brand pushing out a product and then 6 months later they go, "Oh, we can save a couple pennies and we're just going to reformulate the whole thing and do it again." I think it's more of a sourcing issue, or I think it's more that than anything. Um, well, yeah, I see your case though. I have a bunch of Prin stuff. And again, it's in the sampling. Unfortunately, the sampling series has a lot of promise, because there's so much of great stuff that I can't talk about because there's so much. It's so backlogged. Um, right? Like I have for sure over 100 samples on my desk right in front of me, um, maybe even more. And this is what's in the queue, right? Like right now, I'm looking at it. Serge Lutan, Moscow Blacan. There's one. There's one day, right? But again, every sample takes like 4 or 5 days of sampling, like timeline, right? I got Fendi, La Baguette, right? These are probably great fragrances, I'm assuming. Carolina Herrera, Stallion Leather from their Confidential line. Like this is just one lineup of fragrances. What's next? Tom Ford, Mir Mystère. So the myrrh-based fragrance from Tom Ford. I have to sample that. Here's a Louis Vuitton, Nuit de Feu. There's another one. Joe Malone, Ginger Biscuit. Roja Perfume, Diaghilev. See? There you go. So just that alone, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 samples in front of me that are on my desk right now. Those are going to be, they're behind like 50 of them. So when are you going to see those? Probably the end of the year, start of 2026. Like that's how backed up I am on samples. So I got a bunch of prints, but I like to diversify my sampling a little bit and kind of have different brands, like not just go into a whole bunch of brands. I used to go by how old the samples are. The oldest sample in my collection goes first. It's the first one that's going to get, and that was at my old house. Once I moved, I said, F this on the samples. Honestly, I wasn't going to just have them properly, unfortunately, properly all done. And they had their own timelines. And I was very meticulous I'm very meticulous in regards to when I review and unbox things. Like I'm unboxing things in timeline of when I receive them. So, something that I just got yesterday goes up here. And I'm not going to touch it for a long, long time and unbox it because I got stuff from like 2022 that I still have to unbox. So, yeah. Yeah, but Pren, I hear really good things about that brand. Kenny just keeps saying he's passing through. I don't think you're just passing through, bro. You're around. Nice steak and eggs guy for breakfast or pancaking sausage. Neither. I'm a bacon guy, first of all. You missed the whole plot. Actually, pancakes and sausage, as much as I like pancakes and sausage, I don't get that often. But when I do, obviously Canadian maple syrup all over. But I'm more of a bacon and eggs guy. And I need hash browns and with onions. Yeah. Not listed, but I see if your nose on black tea. Oh. Is Robes away because you started your collection channel? 08 is because of Kobe. Yeah. I was not reviewing. I started this YouTube channel in 2009 reviewing perfume, but the name itself was like I signed up to YouTube kind of thing. I don't know why. I think around that time, you could, like before 2009, I think you could lurk onto YouTube, but then after a while, you needed an account. I don't remember when, but yeah, I created an account. But the 08 is definitely about Kobe, 100%. Mark, you need to transition, get a nice pair, then. Yeah. Basically, views equals making your content worse for the people actually interested in fragrances in order to appeal to the lowest denominator. Yeah, but you can I feel personally, if I wanted to go that route, right, you could trick the audience, and I mean that like in a sincere. I'm not the kind of guy that would do that, but you could put your thumbnail and make it as whatever's hot right now, like Louis Vuitton, all that. Put then the thumbnail and make it a top 10. But then instead of having, you could have free bottles that you got and, some of the popular stuff, like some of them do. But instead of all that, you could also put like real good fragrances in the middle of that as well. So you could be very, in a way, kind of be, like a real frag head that is disguised as an influencer, or where you could put like a random really good fragrance at number 1 and 2 around really shitty fragrances. But no, the I don't think the content worse. I don't think it's you could say the same thing with my channel though. Like, right, there's redundancy in what they do, right? Top 10s every day. I do unboxings every day. And everybody's opinion is different, right? Some people will be like, Robes 08, all he does is unboxings, it's worthless to me. Okay, you don't see any value, that's fine. And then I look at an influencer and I'm like, why are you doing a top 10 for fall? You did one yesterday, and then you did one on Tuesday, and then you're doing one on Wednesday, and then you're doing another one. But it's like top 10 most complimented fall fragrances, top 10 best fall fragrances, top 10 niche fragrances for fall, top 10 most complimented beast mode fall fragrances. So, right, you could go either side of the coin. Right, and people can have their opinion on me, like, oh, he's just doing samples, oh, he's just doing live streams now. But it is what it is. Gucci put on 2, talking about tea-based fragrances. I wish it was still available. That was a good one. That Gucci put on is going for about 800. You don't know how many fragrances that I own, that I've owned for a while, but I'm not just saying that this is like an investment or anything, but there's a lot of these fragrances that I own now that I paid like $50 and are worth that much. Best Amouage is Sunshine Man. My opinion, of course. What would you recommend from Narciso Rodriguez, which are currently available? Is the EDT finally discontinued? Because that's where I would start with Narciso Rodriguez. That is that eau de toilette slate gray bottle that smells like concrete after the rain is just purely magical. It is one of the best spring fall fragrances of all time in the designer game, bar none. That's where I would start. I don't really care about I own about 4 or 5 of those in the men's aisle at least. The eau de toilette talks to me more than the others. It would be, if I had to sell the whole collection, that would be the first Narciso that I've set aside, and I'd be like, I'm gonna keep this as long as I can. That one's great. Um, and you're getting some other suggestions in here, which is great. Chad, I would I would not bet on that. I would get a bottle. No problem, Janet. Always here. I can't even recall what Demeshi actually created himself. That bean counter was a total. Whoa. Christine's going off on Demeshi. Whoa. He did create Leather Oud, which was dare I say a masterpiece. Just saying. And he tried to copy Chanel, though. That was one thing. But I think that was I think Zial needed that, though. Why are they banning so many materials? It's getting ridiculous. I don't know what to tell you. See you, Christine. She's been gone for like several minutes. I have not had a pickled peanut butter sandwich. Jeez, I might have that for breakfast. Kenny's just all into it. Just passing through. Peanut butter and mustard? What are you guys doing over there? Nicole, I know you're from Canada. Like, what is this? What are you doing? Passing through. He's from Baltimore. Well, maybe. Pure malt. I don't know if it do well anymore. There's some brands that have just lost their cachet. Mugler was hot back in the day on YouTube, obviously. And then they decided to discontinue everything. And then they went away for several years. Not several years, I'm exaggerating, but they went away for a while. And now I think they were only really popular. All these limited editions were really popular within our fragrance community, but the general public, not so much because they were limited editions. So I don't know. It works on the women's aisle. Obviously, Angel is continuing to do well. I don't know what their thought process is. They're trying to bring back Angel Men with flankers, but they're doing what other designer brands are doing. From what I hear, I haven't smelt them, but Phantasm I heard was more of a going into what's popular these days. And they were kind of going that way with some of them. They're kind of getting away from the original DNA, but that's what was their charm, was the original DNA with a little something else sprinkled in. So they're kind of goofing on the men's aisle, unfortunately. I don't know. I had onions chopped inside deviled eggs and eat on Easter, and it works, and it's awesome. But that doesn't sound bad. It's a lot better than, what was it, mustard and peanut butter? I don't know what's going on over here with the peanut butter and the weird combos. Heaven Can Wait is a mix between Misia Louis et Géranium pour Monsieur. That sounds good. And that is actually a very broad Misia and Louis, but Géranium pour Monsieur is completely different than the other two. So interesting. No problem, Carl. No problem. Janet's got another one for me. Do I think Cartier fragrances will? Yes, absolutely. Cartier is one of the unique brands that are beating at their own drum. I appreciate that. I love that from the brand. I feel like they are very much timeless. On the men's, I'm not too familiar on the women's aisle. Like, obviously, I've smelt some. You've seen some on the channel. But on the men's aisle, the only thing, as far as test of time, the only thing I've noticed with Cartier is that they discontinue a lot of things. They discontinued Roadster. It didn't sell well, I guess. They discontinued, what was the other one? Some Declaration flankers. That didn't do well. So like Declaration d'un Soir, which is a great rose base fragrance, amazing. Gone. So the flankers seem like they're the ones that are getting kind of limited, right? Even the Eau de Cartier series, a lot of their flankers have been axed. Yeah, they kind of treat them as limited editions. Honestly, I don't think, like, I'm trying to think right now. Some of them stand the test of time, but a lot of them get discontinued. But as scent profiles, honestly, Cartier is one of those brands that are very much timeless. Really good. Canadians be crazy. Alberta, come on down. Yeah, we might be losing Alberta. And the oil. Keep that sweet, sweet oil in Canada, please. Bring back Mugler cologne. I agree. That was one of my regrets, actually. A fragrance regret. I got Mugler cologne, the small bottle. Not that it's a regret. I can get the new version of Mugler cologne, which I think is called Come Together, if I'm right. But I had an opportunity to buy the Mega Big. I think it was like 200 mil, or it was huge. It was a huge bottle of Mugler cologne, and it was like $100. And I got the Christmas gift pack, which had a 75 ml bottle and shower gel and all that, and I went with that one instead, and I regret that. Not that I don't have any Mugler cologne left, but I love wearing it. It's very easy to wear. Have I sampled Rebellious or more Monarch from Bodacia the Victorious? No, but I got 5 or 6 samples from Bodacia, which are on my desk. I have some of them are right here, actually. Oh, that didn't sound right. Where's my Bodacias? I got Faith, Legend. What's this one? Harmonious, among others. So those are the ones that are like right in front of me on my desk here. So I got a couple Bodicias to hit up. Janet says I don't like Angel. It seems to me just nondescript and meh. Maybe it's just my chemistry. My daughter adores Alien. Huh. Are you a non-gourmand fan, maybe? Maybe? Yeah, Declaration's a good one. Peanut butter is the banana. Banana and peanut butter works. You can't knock peanut butter with mustard. I don't know. I can't even visually do it. I cannot see the yellow and the brown. Yellow and brown do work well together as far as clothing goes, as colors go. Mustard and peanut butter. Now I'm getting attacked here. Don't knock PB and pickle then. You guys. Everybody's angry. I need to start all these peanut butter sandwiches, apparently. Just bought that Cartier Declaration Parfum. I really love it. I think it's unisex. Yeah, it's a good one, eh? I'm sitting in Alberta right now. I went to vote yesterday, and there was no Liberal candidate in my riding. Well, there's no Alberta's blue as could be, man. Holy crap. When I saw that, I was like, oof, oof. Wow. The West Coast is blue. Quebec saved the Liberals. Honestly, it didn't have Quebec. Like the Bloc Québécois lost a lot through the Liberals. When I saw the Maritimes, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be an interesting night." Yeah, and our politics was crazy. Like Pierre Poilievre didn't even make his writing, um, which kind of tells you a lot, honestly. Um, I didn't like him as a leader when he was doing like the Trumpisms, but when it was cool, and then when Trump wasn't cool, he like switched it up as just like. And I think a lot of Canadians were like, "Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute." Is it "Come with Me"? Is the name? I thought it was something else, but yeah, it's the same. The green one. Too much in Broxton. Yeah, Kenny's just passing through again. Sweet Kenny, man. He's been passing through for 2 hours. I went to Ross last week. They had Angel Men, 3 of them. I wouldn't mind getting a backup of Amen just to see how it smells like now. I've had the same bottle of Amen for a long time. Huh. Great question. I can't think of it on the top of my head. You took out a lot. You took a lot of fragrances that have sweetness or cherry or boozy notes that go with it. I'm trying to think. Maybe the chat's got some. Tuxedo. I don't correlate tuxedo with Gucci Put 'em 2 at all. Robes go up to Nunavut and Homestead with nothing but fragrances to barter. I think I'm the only liberal in Alberta. Yeah. Edmonton, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was crazy. When I woke up this morning, I was like, whoa. Whoa. I don't know. It was crazy. Heard in Broxton binds with pheromone receptors in the brain. ISO-E super also. Ooh, buy them all up. Buy them all. Compliments galore. Am I going to revisit Pure Malt? Probably not. I got so much content to do. Like what's like trying to revisit it. My opinion doesn't. I was doing that like 10 years ago, where I would actually re-review something that I reviewed back in 2009, 2010 on YouTube, and I was like, most of the time, yeah, you're getting more info because in 2009 I was like a shy kid. I was, in my early 20s, so you're getting a better review, but the score stayed the same, and that's what I was kind of figuring out. Like, why re-review a fragrance, 5-6 years later when I put in the homework. It wasn't just a fast review all the time, right? And what that makes is that, uh, it's a good thing because now I don't have to re-review anything. Like if I smell right something that's old, you guys have probably seen in 2010, 11, like something like, let's say, Kelsey Roadster. They got a really good review on my channel back then. Hasn't changed a bit. Like I wouldn't change anything. Maybe the review would be more comprehensive where I could tell you a lot more because my nose can pinpoint a lot more notes than it did back then. But the score, the overall value of the fragrance, like if I hated it back then, I still hate it now. There's not a big swing in my fragrance reviews. And a lot of people say, oh, your taste change. And I would say that is correct. Your taste does change. But after a while, like when you're in this game for so long, like there's nothing that shocks me that I smell now. But if you ask me like 20 years ago, young me, like super young me, if I smelled like something like Black Afghano for the first time and actually caught that on video, my eyes just popped out of my head. I never smelled anything like it. So the reactions aren't as big anymore. My reactions now are not like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? When I smell something and I smell something for the first time now, which is very daring, unique, crazy, it's just like, oh, right. It's, oh, okay. We got something here. Let's hold on, right? We're on for the ride. So honestly, like I can't even think of like the past 5 years, anything that would shock me. Like that's where like you can send me the most indie perfume and I would be like, ooh, this is nice. But you won't get that raw emotion anymore of what is this? Or like, oh my God. Um, it's more like, oh, this is well done. And here we go. Let's go. Where am I? Oh, Janet's moving to BC. Janet, BC's as far as the votes go, it was still very, very blue over there as well. BC's beautiful though. I've been to Vancouver a few times. Very nice. I agree. We got a bunch of Canadians in here, eh? Look at us go. Go Canada. I should be wearing my Blue Jays hat. Moving to Victoria. Good old Ontario. What's my take on imaginary authors and kerosene? Let's tackle kerosene first. Kerosene, my experience is limited. I've smelt 4, I think it was fragrances, and I have probably another 4 in samples somewhere in my sample kit over here. The last thing I've smelt is follow. I have followed. I have the Decant somewhere in here. I can't wait to smell it actually. Follow is the best coffee-based fragrance of all time. So that is saying something about the brand. The other ones that I own are okay. They're well done, but they're nothing close to what Follow is in its own genre. When you're the best of, you have to keep an eye on the brand, and I haven't really done my homework in regards to kerosene. I love the guy. Great gentleman. Wish he was still reviewing, but I understand. And absolutely impressed of what he has done from being a YouTuber to what he's done now. It's probably the only brand I would actually respect from a YouTuber. I'm trying to think of another one. I can't think of another one. Kerosene is the guy that did it the right way. He started a YouTube channel. He wanted to make his own fragrance brand. Shut down the YouTube channel right when he started selling his fragrances. And his fragrances aren't, garbage. They're great. So the brand of kerosene, I have all the respect, but at the same time, I'm still a fragrance reviewer. So even though he's a friend and all that jazz, I'll still be frank with all of you with what I deem like every brand has their good and bad fragrances. So, but I'm looking forward to Followed, which I think is going to be one of the first samples that I try from the brand because I know it's like right here. It's like on the desk somewhere. As far as imaginary authors, they have some very solid releases as well. I haven't really spoken about them several years, honestly. Yeah, I really need it. And again, when you got all this in front of you, some brands just get like fallen on the wayside. Like there's so much to discover. So it's kind of crazy that, imaginary authors as a fragrance reviewer, I know that they give out free bottles, but I'm not that kind of guy. So I haven't even kept touch with the brand that I don't even know what's new anymore from the brand. Yeah, follow, just the original follow is beast mode. It's great. All right, 5 more minutes and then I'll be out, guys. I really appreciate it. All 60 of you here. So any questions, throw them out. I'll be here for another 5, and then I'm hitting the hay. It's 11 o'clock. So what do you think of the giant, the giant House of Chanel? Will it follow the trajectory of Dior? Um, no, no. I think Dior has less, has less. Because Dior's under LVMH, I just feel like there's more people, um, more voices on how the brand should be. Chanel's kind of like a well-oiled machine. Um, a lot of their name is always up there as one of the best fragrance houses, and that's because of their past. So, are they living off their past? Yeah, no, but the quality, as far as what I've smelt, and I'm not even talking about their signature lines anymore. I think personally, Janet, if I can be frank with you, I think that Chanel is really focused on their Privé line. I feel like past 10 years, their signature lines, men and women, um, they've kind of just went, nah, that's not our audience anymore, but we're still gonna do like flankers and stuff, but really we're not gonna do much for you guys. And on the men's aisle, what they do, like they're the Chanel flankers, right? Ooh, they do an Allure limited edition fragrance flanker. So I feel, and it's a well-oiled machine, they are really focused on the Privé exclusive line, Lyon, Comet. So I Chanel, the only issue I see with them, and this might just be me in my opinion, is that um I'd like to see more innovation from them. And like I'm smelling Comet here today. And it's still on my wrist. And that's been since the afternoon. I came home early. It was about, I think it was 2 or 3 when I first put it on. So it's 11 now. And it's still doing well on my skin. It's still as vivid as it was. So it's doing well. It's a well done product. But it's so Chanel. And I think, I don't know, like they don't take chances. I don't know. I wish they would. And I guess if you don't take any chances and you play it safe, you continue to be on the top, right? When you're on the top, sometimes taking chances is going to hurt you more than it will help you. Taking chances is the way that you leapfrog, that you make a name for yourself, right? Like I personally think Hermes, like let's go back. Hermes took a chance by bringing in Jean-Claude Helena, and it worked. But they took a chance. They gave him free reign, and he built Hermes as a brand. As far as perfume goes, before he showed up, I'm not saying the old Hermes fragrances are bad. I'm talking about like 80s and old ones. But before Helena came up in the mid 2000s, Hermes was dying in the fragrance game. Let's call it what it is. It wasn't a premier brand. Now they are spoken about with Chanel, right? Same with Dior. As much as Demachy gets a lot of hate, he built the platform. He took chances with, let's say, his flankers with Fahrenheit to building the Privé line. There was chances there. those early privés, like as much as people want to pan some of the privés from Ziar, right? Demashi built that thing. Taking those chances brought those brands up to Chanel. Chanel just played the status quo. They didn't take any, like, what have they released in the men's aisle in the 2000s? Beer the Chanel and flankers. That's all you can say about Signature line. That's all you can say. So I think Chanel's in a safer place than Zion. I think there's, and I think going back to what, Ziar is doing with Francis, him being a hired gun, I think they have a lot more pressure. And I don't know. They're in the spot now that are they sacrificing quality to make more mass appealing fragrances, ZR, for sales? That's a slippery slope. Because once you getting compared to a Paco Rabanne or Jean-Paul Gaultier for its ZR flanker, like ZR Parfum is, it smells like a Jean-Paul Gaultier. You need to start thinking, like, what's going on over there, right? And the man says here, like the man Cologne is saying, Chanel's better than Zion at the moment. Chanel has always been number one. They've always had the crown. Ever since I've been in perfumery, they've always had the crown in the designer game. However, it was slipping. Zion was going after it. Hermes was going after it. However, those two brands, Chanel has been consistent in their Privé line, and haven't taken chances and just stayed the status quo. And when you're on top, sometimes staying the status quo is a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. And honestly, if you start looking at the year 2000 to 2025, so 25 years, what have those three brands released? And you're looking at their roster. And you can look at Privés at the same time. Chanel's exclusive line, as far as quality goes, like, you may not like their scents, right? They're florals, and that's what they're heavily known for, aldehydes and their florals. And that's what perfume is all about, is about florals. No one can touch them. Man, they have their own farms. They have some of the best noses in the game, right? They have Sheldrake as not their in-house perfumier, but just the side piece perfumier, like Sheldrake of all people. It goes to tell you. So are they better at the moment? Yeah, but Ziar they were close with the Demashi era, I think. Summer of 84 is really good, not Neo, but probably the next best summer yeah. Don't forget Bergamot from the different company. That's a good one too. If you like Bergamot 22, you'll like Bergamot from the different company. There you go. I haven't smelt the new Chance. Am I having fun tonight? I'm having fun. Lots of fun. Hey, by the way, guys, Kenny's just passing through. Am I sure? Yeah. Hey, Muse is in. What's going on? Watching the basketball. Who were you watching? Which team? Oh shit. It's your last live stream, my mom. Aw. Sorry, bro. Sorry to hear that. I haven't had a sample of Amen Fan. Unfortunately, none of my suppliers carry Mugler Amen for sampling. Like, I use about 5 or 6 trusted shops that do sampling. A lot of them don't do designers, unfortunately, so it's kind of like off the beaten path. But I'll look out for it. And again, sorry about your mom, man. Hope you're doing okay. I would rather have a house really release something and have it be good versus the 3 fragrances a year some houses are doing, still buying Allure fragrances to this day. Granted, sure. But from 2010 to 2025, what has Chanel done for me lately? You take your time, perfect. Don't give me a Bleu de Chanel Parfum edition. Don't give me a Bleu de Chanel EDP and just clean it up a little bit. It took you 3 years to do that? Really? Took you 3 years to do that? If you're going to give me a unique product, sure. And you're fair to say that, right? You know, there's some brands out there that just release 3 fragrances that are absolute garbage, that are clones from other fragrances, houses, whatever. I don't mind somebody, a brand taking time, but give me something. Like in 10 years, you should, and especially with the machine that they have, right? Chanel's a machine. It's a monster of a machine. You can release a new fragrance for men at least once every 10 years, at least something. Well, if you need anybody, I don't know, like if you're on my Discord or Instagram or whatever, I'm available to chat, right? If you want to just chat about fragrances or anything, don't mind. Don't hesitate to contact me. I'm on Facebook. I'm anywhere. So if you just want to talk about fragrances and get it off your mind, or just talk to a friend or something, I'm here. Just passing through. Kenny's just passing through again. Well, Kenny, you're allowed your opinion. And honestly, I'm not saying Chanel is better than Dior. They have the crown. That's a personal. Is that a personal opinion? No, I think that's really Chanel is. I guess it could be my opinion. It probably is, but I prefer. If you're asking me, you're putting a gun to my head, and you're saying, Mark, you got to keep your Chanel's or you got to keep your Dior's. Which ones would I keep? I would keep my Dior's. I wear Fahrenheit Parfum, Fahrenheit Absolute, Fahrenheit 32, just Fahrenheit's, Eau Sauvage, Eau Sauvage Parfum, right? Just their regular line. Like, what do I wear from Chanel? Okay, Bleu de Chanel I don't wear. Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel both are garbage. I don't wear those fragrances and their flankers. I don't. Zero. So both of those are out the window. So Chanel has what? Platinum Egoist. I wear that from time to time. It's good. Egoist is awesome. I'm going to give them that. Egoist is awesome. Chanel Allure, Allure Edition Blanche, both great. Wear those. What else? Antheus. It's great Chanel. And then the Privé line, we got a couple. But the Privé line, Dior versus Chanel, there's a lot more. For me personally, Dior, Mitza, Oud Ispahan, Vetiver, Eau Noir, Cuir Canage, Leather Oud, among others. Purple Oud, Rouge Travalgar. There's tons. I would pick Dior. I would, 100%. Thoughts on Orthoprici Vedid? I have not smelt it. I know about it. It's on the docket to get smelled. Just haven't. I do have an Orthoprici that is going to get smelled. It's in my sample. Bergamask is on my desk. Have I ever attended Scent Explorer before? Yeah, I got one of these from Mr. Forte. It's full of fingerprints, apparently. I got to clean it. Yeah. So yeah, I've been to Scent Explore. I haven't physically. It was the 1 year that they did it online. Um, yeah, there's some good and some bad with anything. Um, just go in there, kind of hoping to discover. Um, yeah, and it's the people that you surround yourself with is probably the most important thing. Um, but there's a lot of bad things about these kind of mega things that I've explored or talked about a little bit on my channel. Um, all right, I think I'm gonna get going. It is quite late. I've done it long enough. We'll hit one more. Ginger King hits me up, and that's it. But everybody else, I'm sorry. Anything after that, I'm sorry. But what are my thoughts on layering? Not sure if I'm doing it right. Um, I'm the last person to ask about layering, and I'm just being frank with you. I personally feel I'm a purist at heart. So unfortunately for me, like layering's a no go, clones are no goes, things like that. So layering, my thought process is that I'm buying a product or a fragrance, and it's kind of like mixing two pieces of art together. It shouldn't be that way. I feel like it should be loved and put on your skin as itself. Um, but there's tons of people that do this kind of stuff. So I'd highly recommend for you to go on message boards and things like that. There's other reviewers that do layering videos and stuff like that. But I absolutely do not. I've never even had the thought. Well, I had the thought. I was just like, oh, people are doing this kind of stuff. But I've never really, unless I did it by mistake, that I wore too much of something and I was like, oh shit, I just sprayed something on top of it. Um, I'm not a guy that will do that. So anyway, that's it. Um, yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. Sorry, Ginger King. I was trying to. Hopefully that helped. But again, thank you. This live went long. I was hoping for like an hour here with Evan, and it ran 2.5 hours. But there's still 50 of you kicking around. But thank you so much for all the support. What's next on the channel? What am I doing? We'll give you guys I'm doing Anik Gutal right here. Ninfio Mio. Fig based fragrance. So anybody that was talking about fig based fragrances, I'm just going to be unboxing my Ninfio Mio from Anik Gutal. So that is going to be next on the channel. It's right there. It's on the table. It's ready to go. I just got to take out my Anik Gutal collection and kind of put it over here. I'm going to have a few of them that I have to put on, but I can't wait to unbox that fragrance. I've been wanting that fragrance since I smelt it in 2010. I do have a video on it, sampling samples in 2010, but I'm looking forward to another fig. And I got a bunch of other things that I have to do videos. They're on the couch here, some sampling samples and stuff like that I've been working on. But yeah, finishing up Comet. Obviously, all you in live now know that there's going to be a Chanel Comet sampling samples that will come out. Definitely not this week. It is Tuesday today. Probably not going to come this week, but next week. So I got that coming up. But yeah, enjoying the Discord. If you haven't already, have a good night. Thank you so much again for the support. See you later.